Hi, welcome back. We're going to dive right in again here and examine our half step just a little more. The last time we looked at the half step, or the minor second interval, we dealt with it primarily on one string, and we looked at the chromatic scale just on one string, playing in this sort of linear fashion. But you can play a half step on two adjacent strings. In other words, E to F on the first string is that way, okay? If we went down, we would go from E to the second string. We could play E to F. Well, we could also play E to F this way. Now notice, when I'm playing on the first and second string, and this will be true from the sixth and the fifth, everything except the second, we'll examine that in just a second, I have to stretch a little bit. Okay, it's not like every finger gets to take a fret. I have to stretch, but that gives me that half step, E and F. Now I could have played it open trick where I used the F on the second string and the E open, but I wanted to fret it, because if I'm up here, then that's a half step. Now, when you have an interval, what I would encourage you all to do is to look at it about 3 or 4 or 5 different ways. One is intellectually. We know that the interval is now a half step. We know what that is. We know that's one fret. Okay. The other thing is, how does the half step feel to us mechanically on the fretboard? How does it feel? It feels like this stretch. Now remember, I said that it's a little different between the second and third strings. Okay, because of the tuning of the guitar, we can collapse that down and play a B and a C, get that half step without the stretch. But when we go back to the relationship of the third to the fourth, we have to stretch it out again, stretch it out again, stretch it out again. Okay, and that would be the same as we're up here. Okay, I have to stretch it out, but if I'm here, I don't have to. If I'm back in here, I do. So that's kind of how it feels to play a half step. The other thing is, how does it sound? Okay, how does it sound two ways? Could I recognize that interval if I heard it again? And also, how does it make me feel? A little bit esoteric here, but bear with me. Ask yourself, does the half step make you feel tranquil, at ease? I think most people would probably say, that doesn't really make me feel that tranquil. I think most people would say, it makes me feel a little tensiony, or there's maybe a little suspense, or maybe a little dark, maybe a little mysterious, or words to that effect. Now, to give you an example of that, how it makes you feel, I'm going to refer to an example of a film scorer, a composer who would be writing music for a film. Several years ago, I think in the 70s, there was a smash hit movie called Jaws, and most of you are familiar with that. If not, it was just basically the deal of this big shark who was eating all the people in the town. But the composer of the music, John Williams, had to somehow impart the suspense, the tension, the nervousness of when the shark was out. So when you could always tell whenever the shark was about to come, because he would play the half step. And I'm going to do it here by playing the half step on both the E's, but it would sound something like. And throughout that movie, whenever you heard that, you sensed the tension, the suspense that was coming about the shark. Well, he knew that the interval of the half step imparted that sort of tensiony feel, and he utilized it to take what was going on in the film, score music, and thereby project into the listener, to the watcher of the film, the anticipation of the shark through the music. Film scoring is a very powerful thing. The guys who do that, the men and women who write and compose that music for films, really do a marvelous job, and it's very challenging to relate emotions through the music, transfer what's going on in the film into the ear. So I'd like to have a drill, kind of a game, if you will, for everybody. Will you think about the half step, and think about a place where you play the half step, either a song that begins with a half step or has a half step in it, and share it with us. An example might be in Bularia, where we tangos, whatever. Another one here. Those are half steps. Really bring out the sound of that half step. Okay. Until then, I look forward to seeing you again.